It is an interesting time to talk economics. Pretty much showing at the moment it is a fairly dismal science, very uncertain times. A lot of forecasts are being revised and continually being revised. Things are changing quite quickly, and I think as a business owner you really need to be up on this type of information, look at the market trends, get the right information, and certainly make the informed decision in terms of how you want to run your organisation. Iress has just released their March quarter business survey, which overall was reasonably optimistic, but businesses were a little bit concerned about their overall trading activity and profitability, and unfortunately on the employment side we didn't see many businesses putting people on in the March quarter, and there is considerable concern of where we're going to head over the next 6 to 12 months, particularly on the back of what's happened overseas with Japan and what sort of impact that's going to have on the Australian export market. Conditions were not even across the region, and that's some of the concern we've got at the moment in terms of some sectors are doing okay, particularly the finance, property and business services sector, but then you've got the manufacturing sector that is doing a little bit tough because of the high dollar, and that's certainly impacting upon their profitability. Construction is holding up at the moment, particularly on the back of government investment, but we're not seeing a lot of private investment at the moment. So again, there is concerns about what's going to happen to the economy over the next 12 months. So just in an overall assessment, trading conditions were up on the last quarter of December, but again still fairly weak and not a lot of signs that we're going to see too much growth in 2011, and it'll be interesting to see how the federal government and particularly the Reserve Bank react to the growth in terms of whether they do cut interest rates over the next 12 months.
The December property figures have shown that the property market over 2010 was quite different to what it was the year before. 2009 we had a bit of a boom in terms of property sales as we had record low interest rates and a lot of government incentives to be buying property, and as we've seen now that in 2010, as all of those sort of incentives started to drop off and interest rates rose again, a lot of confidence in our local property market has dropped away, and as such property sales have fallen. We have seen a little bit of a weakening in property prices over the last 6 months. Houses and units, the median price has dropped off slightly from those highs that we saw around June 2010. But that said, the demand that we've seen for land over the last 12 months, 18 months, has pushed the median price that people are paying for land right up, and that's continuing to increase. Across the Illawarra we have seen an increase in the number of building approvals for residential properties. Construction is a very significant part of our economy, both in terms of employment numbers as well as the actual value input into our local gross regional product. So it's very important that we do have these approvals coming through to lead into that construction work over the next few months.